the heaviest side of RCIcons. Hello and welcome back to the heavier side of RCIcons. So this is part 2 of my heavier side of RCIcons videos. If you didn't see part 1, I'd say I'd link it in the description, but I still haven't figured out how to do that. But if you look in my previous videos, probably a week or so ago, you'll see I did all of my Tamiya semi-trucks and showcase those. Now I realize this is a vintage RC channel, but I had a bunch of viewers asking me to showcase my construction equipment as well as my semi-trucks, and it was just too much to put in one video. So I did the semi-trucks in the last episode along with my low bed trailer and my power tilt deck ramp truck deck bed. And so this video I'm going to showcase all of my fully hydraulic construction equipment. So this stuff is so big and so heavy I can't even fit it on my bench. My loader isn't even up here. So what we're looking at essentially, this is it's supposed to be modeled after like a D9 or a D10 cat bulldozer. This runs off 3S LiPo battery. And I'm going to bring the camera over so that you can see these models. Fully hydraulic. The blade lifts, tilts. It's got a sound kit. It's got a light kit. There's a ripper tooth in the back that lifts, tilts, goes down. All metal tracks. Everything is metal on it. Weighs 63 pounds. 63 pounds. And quite honestly, it needs to be that heavy if you want the model to actually work. So this thing will actually push dirt. It'll rip the ground. It'll do everything a real dozer does in 1/14 scale. These are 1/14 scale models. In front of me is a Volvo A40G rock truck. So this is again fully hydraulic articulating rock truck. It's got lock differentials in the back. Both rear wheels drive. I don't believe the front wheels. No, the front wheels do drive. So this is a 6x6. The rams on the side are literally, how big are they? They're probably the size of like half-inch pipe, like half-inch copper pipe. They're that big. And then the excavator here, same thing. So this has an electric motor running the turret, and it's got, I actually did brushless motor conversions on the tracks because the thing was just so slow. And it's still slow, but not nearly what it was. So metal tracks, all metal. All these models are all metal. Even the cab is metal, right? So solid metal. 43 pounds. This one's got to be at least 45 pounds. You know, just real impressive remote control construction equipment, all fully hydraulic. These models aren't cheap. They come out of China. There's no real name brands, to be honest. It's not like a Hunia or, you know, I know RC 4-wheel drive sells a lot of these models, but it's Eagle Machinery, I think, makes this one. They make the rock truck and they might make the loader, but it's sold under various different brands. So crazy money, but extremely fun. So this is all, I've had all of this stuff for 3 years now. And my boys and my boys are 11 and 8, and you know, we run these when we go camping. We run these outside, you know, pretend mine site kind of stuff. I own a construction company. That's what kind of led me to this, and this is what really got me back into the RC hobby. And I was messing around with these, and I have a bunch of crawlers and bashers, and I was into new age stuff. Never thought I'd buy another Tamiya again, just because in today's market, right, Tamiya is considered essentially low grade. Now, no disrespect to Tamiya. Obviously, I love Tamiya, right? But if you didn't grow up in the 80s around this stuff, and you're young, your younger generation today, they all want Traxxas, Arma, Axial, the newer age stuff. So that's kind of how I got back into the hobby, by the new age stuff, and then I ran across Tamiya Legends and RCIcons and a bunch of other, you know, vintage sites, and then that grabbed me, right, and here I am today. with my own vintage channel, and I love it, absolutely love it, to the point to where these are sidelined now. You know, I don't use these a whole lot. So let me bring the camera over and we'll take a look at these models one by one, including the loader that's on the floor. Most of them have sound kits. We're going to get them running for you just on the bench so that you can hear it, see them operate a little bit. And just wanted to show you guys because I had a lot of commenters, you know, intrigued and wanting to see this. And I will shout out some other YouTube channels that have this stuff on their channels, and if you want to see this stuff operate in a real manner, I go to those channels and watch it. I'm not interested in creating a channel about construction equipment. Vintage RC is this channel, but at the very least I wanted to show you guys these models. So let me bring the camera over, we'll take a look at them. So we're going to do the same thing we did in the last video. I'm going to try to just do this by hand. So when you look at this model, this blade is the size of my forearm. That's how big it is. So this is a standard radio. It's 2 radios wide and at least the height of the radio. It's got full working lights in the front. These are the hydraulic rams for the actual blade. You can see the plastic hydraulic lines. Full metal tracks. It's got the tensioners just like a real bulldozer does. Everything about it is 100% scale and real. So these are the drive cogs here. These are brushed motors, and these are actual planetary gear inside, just like the real thing. The idlers are exactly like the real thing. Their pins and chains are exactly like the real thing. These models are absolutely 100% scale all the way to the cab. And the doors on this one do open, right? So you can put a driver figure in there if you wanted to. Both sides open. The smokestacks lift up. Some people will drill these out because they're solid, and they'll put smoke kits in them for trains. I modified this, so when this first came to me, it came with an ESC for each side track, so 2 ESCs for the side tracks, and then another third ESC for the brushless motor, outrunner motor, that sits down here for the hydraulic pump. I converted it. So this is a saber-tooth ESC. It's made for tanks or for like robot wars, where you put 2 motors onto it, and it allows you, instead of using 2 toggles, so instead of it being right side, left side, like some of the old skid steers, now it's forward, back, left, and right. And one track will go forward and one track will go reverse when you're turning left and right. So it just spins on a dime. So now I can drive it essentially with this one toggle, and then this one here is my lift and lower on my blade, and then my angle one way and my angle the other. And then I've got on my dial, this is going to be my ripper tooth in the back. So the ripper tooth, I mean, this thing is huge, right? And it's got a tooth on it that can be swapped out and changed as needed. These models are dirty, don't get me wrong. These are not showpieces. There's hydraulic oil that leaks on them every now and again. These are made to work, and we work them. But this lifts and lowers, and it also pitches in and out just like the real deal. And then in the back here, which would be typically where you put your fuel in the real machine, this is the hydraulic oil tank. So this is where you add hydraulic fluid if you need it. So it's as scale can be. And like I said, these aren't toys. These are expensive models. The sound kit's got an adjuster right down here inside to adjust the sound. This has what's it called? Oh, it's like an Argonaut sound kit in it. But we're gonna put a battery in it. Let me get a battery in it and get it running, and I'll bring you right back once I have it running. I'm gonna need both hands to at least turn it on. We're ready to go. So this thing actually has a start feature as well. So if I take this toggle on my radio, and then kick it all the way up. Oh, that's the horn. Right? So that's their sound. And I've got it turned down, and it revs up as you move it. So if I toggle forward, right, left and right, and then you got to turn the hydraulic motor on. You can set it up to mix so that it's slave and master. I just don't have it set it up like that. So now you can hear the brushless motor running. Now I can lift up my blade. I can angle it, right? Depending on the grade, up and down. Now that's real hydraulic oil moving around in there, based off of that brushless motor. If I turn it around, you can see I can lift and lower my ripper tooth, and I can angle it in and out. So it takes a little bit to kind of figure these out and actually run them, but once you get the hang of it, make a mess of my bench today. You turn on the dime, and then you can honk the horn, pretty much do whatever you want, right? These things are all about torque, and they need to be heavy in order for them to run and actually do the work that they're supposed to do. But it'll literally lift itself off the ground. Ready? So that's holding up 63 pounds right there. They are a blast, but like I said, they can get very pricey. So let me put the blade down here. And off. Cool, right? So let me get this one out of the way. We'll bring the next one up. So the next model would be the loader. So I didn't want all my models to be yellow. I wanted some variation, so I bought a couple of white ones. So the loader is obviously white. It's kind of like an off-white, but it looks great. So the bucket, there's my hand, right? So it's at least the size of my hand. It's on a quick release in the back. So you can pull these up, pop the bucket off, and then there's a set of forks that can snap on as well. So we'll have like loading competitions, my boys and I, with using this to load a trailer with different things. So that top ram, that's my thumb. The thing is huge. It's a single ram. It's got lights in the front. It's got lights on the roof up here. It's got a light at the top there. It's also got lights in the back. So these tires are probably 6 inches tall. It's got real lug nuts in it. Again, this is all metal. You can see the hydraulic cylinders here for the articulation. It's got a driver figure in it. Again, just all totally scale. This one comes with a driver figure in it. It's just the way it comes. And it also has a fire extinguisher on that side. Right? So just very, very scale. 3D printed exhaust, 3D printed air cleaner. Weighs about 45 pounds. So you open the top and you can see your brushless outrunner motor here for the hydraulic pump. And you can see your receiver here. You want to talk about wiring, forget it. This is your hydraulic block. You couldn't see this in the dozer. It's got a pressure gauge here. It shows your hydraulic pressure. So basically how these work, this outrunner motor, brushless motor, runs hydraulic pump. That's what this is. So it's a line in and a line out, and it basically is running fluid to this servo block. Now each one of these servos is a ram in the machine. and the servo either opens the valve or closes the valve as far as whether it's going to lift or lower or turn left and right. So some models will have 7 or 8 of these depending on how many rams there are on the actual unit. This one only has 3, but that's it. That's hydraulic. That's all a hydraulic RC model is, right? So it's just a motor with a hydraulic pump to valves that open and close off servos. So this one, I forget where the hydraulic fluid is on this one. It might be, geez, I don't even remember. Might be underneath here. Yeah, there is. There's a little arrow down here that directs you to a port to open to put the oil in. They don't come with oil. You have to put the oil in when you get them. So in this one, the battery sits here, and then it closes, and then you run it. So I'm going to get you back on the stand, and we'll get this one fired up. All right, so you can see the light flashing on the top. That just lets you know your power is on. So with this one, you have to actually turn it on again. So you're down on this. Right, and then that dial, if I go up, is my horn. And then again, as I go forward, you hear the motor throttle up. And then when this one's mixed, so I don't have to turn the hydraulic pump on, it just turns on when I ask for hydraulic fluid. So if I turn left, you can hear the hydraulic pump fire up. Lights are on this side, so that's one set of lights. If you look at the screen, you can see the lights in the back just came on, and then I can shut them off. Now if I turn them on and I click down, it gives me the roof lights. If I click down again, I can make them flash. Right? So now the back ones are flashing. So it gives you a ton of different light options. And then this side is my lift and lower. Right, up and down. And then curl in the bucket. Be careful not to run it right off the bench. So that's the loader. Pretty crazy, right? Shut it down. And the light will continue to flash until you unplug it. So we shut the radio off. Okay. Unplug the battery. And again, I use these Fly Skies for all my semi trucks and my construction equipment. They're short money. I mean, they're like, sometimes you can find them for like $60. Sometimes they're a little bit more. But whatever, I think that's pretty short money for a 10-channel radio. All right, let me get the next one up. All right, so the next one would be the Volvo A40G. So again, 6-wheel drive, lock differential. This is the same manufacturer as the loader. You can see the size of the tires. I mean, they're literally 6 inches tall. Those rims are like 1/2-inch pipe. This has lights just like the loader does in the front. This is your outrunner motor, right? Your hydraulic bank here. You can see your hydraulic lines coming out. They're coming in right here, your hydraulic pressure. So one line in, one line out, and there's a little knob where you can adjust the hydraulic pressure if you want. It's actually running a quick run 1060. No, it's a 10120 hobby wing. And then there's another one over here, X run. So I'm trying to think, what are the motors in here? It might be, oh, the motors are for the actual running of the truck. And then the hydraulics are the articulation and the dump. So this has, I think it's got two brushed motors, potentially one in the back, one in the front, maybe even three. And then you can see your hydraulic distribution block here. This has a light kit and a sound kit in it. It's also got the fire extinguisher. It's also got the guy inside. These windows, these wing mirrors fold out. It's all about scale, right? Even the D-rings in the front. So let me get a battery in this sucker. You can see we do use these. Let me get a battery in this sucker. It's got a tow hitch in the back, more D-rings, lights in the back. And we'll power this one up. All right, so this one's powered up. This one, the headlights don't change. When I turn it left and right, you'll see the blinker coming on. Same on the other side. And it's mixed as well, so it's only gonna run the hydraulics when it's calling for it. So that's your left and right. And this is your up and down. There it is. Just like the real deal. And it goes like straight up. Battery might be dying. So I'm going to start it. Yeah, I think that battery's done. It's dying. Alright, I figured it out. It was just a faulty switch. So now... up. Down. And then, I don't know if I'm going to be able to turn this or not, but fire it back up. You have different lights. So these lights up here will change. Of course I say that, now it's not going to so long since I've run this thing. Yeah, now it's not changing the light, but it was changing earlier. But either way, forward, reverse. There it goes. So now you can see it changing. I think this battery is dying, that's all. Because it's on a cable, it opens automatically. That's like vertical, straight up and down. And when it is open, you can see the drive shafts in here. So you can see that drive shaft, right? All metal differentials. Everything is metal on this thing. So just very impressive. But like I said in the last video, the stuff coming out of China is next level, and the stuff that's coming out of Germany is even crazier. Lights here. They were just on. I don't know if it's slow. It's when it backs up. So you can see those lights come on when you're backing up. So those are your reverse lights. So that's it for this one. Let me get the excavator up. That's the last one to show you. So this is the excavator. Again, you can see all the hydraulic lines. These are real metal hydraulic lines. These are hydraulic rams, just like you would have on a normal excavator. These are like spring line that goes over the rubber lines just to protect it. The newer one, so this model's a few years old. I still haven't put the lights on it. There's a light that goes here and a light that goes here. I did put the cab in it. This one you had to put the cab in, and you'll see it when I turn it around. But there's still more stuff to go. There's one light up top. I can't remember if it works. So that's your swing drive brushed motor there. And then, like I said, these two motors I converted to brushless last year, but all metal, just like everything else, just like real excavator tracks. Doesn't have the chains like a real excavator would. The chain piece is part of the actual track. The dozer actually has chains like the real deal. But the new machines actually have the auxiliary hydraulic ports. I've not seen a thumb come out yet, but they do have rotators. They have log grapples. They've got a breaker, and it actually breaks like patio blocks. So they've come a long, long way. They've got quick release. This one's a pin on. They've got quick release buckets now too. And that bucket, I mean, I can put my fist in that bucket, right? So that's how big that bucket is. And then a lot of the new buckets have removable teeth, whereas these are welded on. And that's actually a new bucket. I've got 3 different buckets. That just happens to be a new one. So in this one, all the business is in the body of the excavator. Again, there's your hydraulic block. That's what it's called. So in this one, there is 3 servos. You can see all your lines coming into that hydraulic block. So the servo is going to open or close those valves. You've got your outrunner brushless motor here. And outrunner means it turns outside of the case versus inside of the case. This still has a Gens Ace 3-cell battery. I kind of just leave it in there. You've got your hydraulic pressure gauge there. This does not have a sound kit in it. This is one of the earlier models that came out, and it didn't have a lot of the bells and whistles. So this is modeled after a Liebherr 954. But let's get this in get the camera in the tripod, and we'll fire this one up. All right, I don't know how much time is left in this battery, but we'll use it just for a second. So on this one, the 2 dials are your forward and reverse. It's as fast as it goes. You should have seen it when it was brushed. And then you can turn it. Yeah, this battery is low on juice. Right, and then you turn on your hydraulic pump. Throw your bucket. Hold on. Put you in frame. You can curl your bucket. Up, down, in and out. Pivot it just like a real machine. That battery's about dead, and I don't want to bring it down too low. So yeah, that's it. I mean, it runs just like a real excavator, right? So so that's it. I mean, let me clean off my bench here, and I'll bring you back for a synopsis of this stuff and what I think. So I hope that was intriguing for you all to see these actually run and move and see what their capabilities are. That's the heavier side of RCIcons. So as much as I love vintage RC, I'm a lover of RC in general. And I've got a lot of modern new age bashers and crawlers, as well as construction equipment, semi trucks, trailers to haul this stuff around with. as well as all my vintage stuff. So yeah, my wife is a saint for putting up with my addiction as much as she does. So all of these models, again, I bought like 3 years ago. None of this stuff is new to me. I probably honestly haven't run this stuff in at least 6 months, and here it is almost the end of summer. I've just been so busy with vintage stuff and building cars, and it's kind of where I'm at right now. This stuff, you know, I'll get back to it at some point. My kids love running it. If this interested you, you beware. You know, when you start searching for this stuff, it's, you know, you're looking at some pretty expensive stuff here. That's the bottom line. But it is very intriguing, and it's kind of cool to see it work. So a couple of quick shout outs. If you really want to get into watching some of this stuff on YouTube, so Medic, Aaron Badachka, I think, who runs RC Sparks. Now he's been on YouTube 14 years, and he's a great guy. His content was more kid friendly a few years ago than it is today, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But he did 3 seasons of what's called YouTube Gold, and YouTube Gold was a parody show that he produced, a lot like Gold Rush, and he had to have had $50,000 easy, if not more, tied up in this kind of remote control construction equipment. Now he has episodes where he builds excavators from the ground up, Lesu machines, but he's also got, you know, the actual mine site runs, and he's got all of his friends volunteering, and it's funny to watch. It is a good show, and that, you know, he makes it look so real and so easy that it kind of grabs you. At least it did. It grabbed me to the point to where, you know, I went out and bought a bunch of this stuff. So RC Spark Studios, again, this goes back probably 3 years, but if you just search YouTube Gold on YouTube, you'll come across it, and you'll be able to see what the capabilities are of these machines. It's absolutely epic. So I hope this helped to satisfy some of the commenters that wanted to see this stuff. This is going to be the end of the heavier side of RC icons. I was happy to do it, but it's time to get back to what this channel is about, and that's vintage RC. So I'm glad I was able to showcase the Tamiya trucks for you in the last video. I was happy to showcase the construction equipment in this video, but this stuff is getting put away, and we're going to break out some kits again, and we're going to start building again. And first and foremost, I'm going to have to clean my bench, because the thing is absolutely covered in tire marks and track marks now. So if you haven't already subscribed and turned your notifications on, make sure you do so that you don't see the next vintage RC build coming up. And I believe the next one coming is actually the Triple Falcon giveaway. So we've got 3 Falcons to restore. So that's going to be coming up here shortly. And then I'm going to clean my bench off, and I'm getting cars ready for running videos. So the Dynablaster is going to get run. The Optima Mid Custom Special is going to get run. We're going to run the MRP 110 Pro. We're going to run that one, and we're also going to run the Ford Ranger. So subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss those running videos. Let me know in the comments what you think of this stuff. Again, I'm not trying to boast. People wanted to see this stuff, so I figured I would show it. It's probably the last time you're going to see it, at least on my channel, but there's plenty of channels out there that showcase this stuff. And until next time, we'll see you soon with the next RC Icon. Thank you.